Hi everybody, my name is Angelique, also known as The Light. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, like this video, stay a while, you will not regret it. Thank you for the continuous support on my channel. I really appreciate you all. Even though I don't do narcissistic abuse videos any longer, you can still book your phone sessions with me, okay? All that information will be in the description bar and in the comment section. If you don't see it, comment at me. If you need counseling with narcissistic abuse, spiritual experiences, friendships, relationships, anything really, I can talk to you basically. I'm like your hired homegirl, okay? So, I had to come on here and talk about this really quickly. And it's something that I myself am doing. And this is really a video for the ladies mostly, but I am doing where I am no longer associating with women who are in abusive relationships, who are addicted to struggle love, what we call struggle love. Some of you don't know that term. Struggle love is when everything in the relationship is a struggle. Okay, so you're having drama, arguments. The person's not faithful to you. You're just having unnecessary drama in this relationship, and it also could be considered a soul tie, trauma bonding, a whole lot of that, and it's a struggle love. And it'll be going on for years and years and years, and it's sad to say mostly ends up being the woman in the relationship where she's just like, oh, we've been through so much, when it's really the man has put her through so much or cheated on her with everybody in the neighborhood or somebody in her family, or something crazy, had a baby on her, or it's just that struggle love. And it's sad to say it happens a lot in inner cities and the ghettos and the hoods, and I'm not about that life, okay? And even if you're from the hood or you from the ghetto or whatever, you don't have to be about that life. Like, they need to stop glamorizing struggle love, because you don't have to struggle. Every relationship is going to have bumps in the road, but when some man is knocking your head between a washer and dryer, or a woman is hitting you, or cheating on you, and having outside kids, and he's going to jail for 10 years, or just all these different things, you don't have to have that in a relationship. You are aware of that, right? There are people out there who are healthy, who are on a straight and narrow road, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, will you even be attracted to that? Because you're so used to seeing your mother, your father in that struggle love, or your friends or people around you. And yes, you yourself is going to have to heal, because you may think that is what love is. Struggle love is what love is to you. And you might feel uncomfortable if you're with somebody who is going to force you to be the best person you need to be, or the best woman or best man you need to be. Um, but unless you are mature enough emotionally and healed to not be in struggle love, then you're not even going to appreciate it when a man or woman comes along who is healed, who's not about that life, who's going to make you accountable for your crap, who's going to make you be the best woman or best man that you need to be for them and for the world and for your children and for your family and for yourself, okay? Now, I'm still trying to manifest love as well, okay? I was in a situationship, so to say, or relationship, whatever you want to call it, in between 2020 to the beginning of 2021. And that person didn't want to fully commit. That person was, I'm mono and he's more poly. And that wasn't something I wanted to do. And I feel like it is foul for people who know they're poly trying to pull people who are mono into their relationship. So y'all don't know, poly means more than one partner. Mono is meaning you're dating one person at a time, or you marry one person at a time, basically, okay? And this person was trying to hold on to me and trying to hold on to somebody else. That's basically what happened, okay? There's nothing wrong with poly relationships, I don't feel, and there's nothing wrong with mono relationships, you know? And, but I'm not about that struggle love. And what I noticed was a lot of my female friends are about that struggle love. My hands are dry, so if you hear that noise, that's what it is. And I don't think you realize when people who are around you and they're in struggle love, that's all you see, that's all you know, and that's what you are going to attract. So when I was in my last situation, dating situation, he wasn't mistreating me, okay? He gave me everything that I needed or wanted. You know, he was there for me. Um, but he just wouldn't fully commit, basically, because he really wanted to push for a poly relationship, and that was something that I did not agree with, right? So, I let him go, you know, after I think 6 or 7 months of dating seriously, being really serious, and even past saying I love you and seeing each other multiple times a week, and him financially investing in me and everything, just like spending a lot of quality time with this person, that was difficult to let go. But it was easy for me to let go because to me, that wasn't the kind of relationship that I wanted. But I noticed that majority of the female friends around me, that's how they fell into it, knowing that they're really mono, but they meet a guy and they're so sick of being lonely that they're like, well, you know what, maybe I'll have threesomes with him, or maybe I'll let him still deal with that other chick, but really they're home worried about who he's sleeping with when they're not together, you know, or you know, he's mistreating her or whatever the case is. And it's all these conversations all the time about what he did to her, and you know, he stood her up, he didn't come pick her up, or he didn't do XYZ for her, you know. And I didn't have those issues in my last dating um situation. You know, he didn't stand me up. When he said he was going to be there, he was there for me. If I needed money, he gave it to me. He took me on dates. I was able to go to his home, he was able to come to my home. And you know, your friends start to see that. So if you have these female friends around you who are always in struggle love, they don't have a man that they can depend on or who's dependable. They don't have a man who's giving them money or taking them out on dates or just small things. You know, eventually that becomes jealousy and competition in their mind, because they're literally trying to figure out how come I'm always attracting struggle love. I don't think there's any woman that really wants struggle love. I feel like that's all she feels. Those particular women who are in those type of relationship, I feel like they feel that's all they can attract because that's all they know. That's what they're comfortable with. That's what they feel that they deserve, right? I don't deserve that. I did watch my mom grow up. You know, growing up, I watched my mom in an abusive relationship. And in my head, you know, for certain people, when they grow up in a traumatic childhood, I think they think that's what love is. You know what I'm saying? And but I knew that there was something wrong. I don't know, maybe because of my emotional maturity as a child, I knew in my heart, you know, daddy beating on mommy isn't right. Okay? Cuz I was taking the pain and seeing the agony of my mom. I knew she was not happy, you know, or you know, him beating on my mom, cheating on my mom, women calling the house. I knew in my heart that that struggle love was not how it was supposed to be. And in my little mind, I'm like, nope, I'm never going to let a man do this, do that to me. But I didn't let a man beat on me, but I did let men mistreat me emotionally until I got it, until I healed and knew what narcissism was, and, you know, sociopaths, and studied all these different things, right? But you don't have to settle for struggle love. You just have to do the work. Do the shadow work, do the healing work, go to your therapist, book me, You have to do these things so that way you become a better person, right? But while you do it, you can't be sick and hanging out with sick people, right? And it's not that I think I'm better than any woman that has been in my life or whatever. There was a girl that I was cool with her for a while. We were close for a couple of years, but I just stopped calling her, stopped hanging out with her, stopped interacting with her. And she did text me on New Year's Eve and was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard from you since October." I just said, "Oh, thank you. Happy New Year." That's it. And just because you part from people, and this is what a lot of women think, they think is a beef. There's no beef. We don't have no beef. It's just that I've outgrown you. This is a girl who deals with multiple men who won't even give her free tap water. Okay? You can't be trying to manifest a healthy love, a man that is going to cater to you and love you and treat you like a queen and all that good stuff when you're busy having conversations with women who these men just, you know, bust them down in the mattress and don't even give them tap water, send them on their way, won't even pay for their Uber late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, send them on a train or bus, doesn't take them on dates, treat them like a roach. They only see them at night, and I guess, some people are going to watch us and be like, well, she's allowing that. Yeah, that's true. And this is why I can't interact anymore with women who allow men to treat them like this, because that means you dislike yourself. That means you don't have any self-worth, you don't have any value. So what makes me think that if I'm having conversations and hanging out with a woman who a man doesn't even take her on a date, but then she sees that I get dates or I get gifts, I get my feet rubbed, my back rubbed, I get picked up from the airport, you know what I'm saying? I get money, gifts, all these different things. I get treated like the goddess I am when I am dating, but she can't even get free tap water. What do you think is going to happen when you're around a woman who gets mistreated by men, but you're not being mistreated? She'll start to compare herself eventually. All right? Or then you'll have that woman who she's in that struggle love. Okay? She lets men mistreat her. She chases men. She had a horrible relationship with her father or didn't have a father, right? She'll start to be like, yeah, she'll start to try to convince you, like, it could be something little. Perfect example. I was friends with this chick and she was having commitment issues as I was having commitment issues with my ex dude, right? And I happened to bump into her at a restaurant. I was with my dude at the time. She was with the guy that she was dealing with, and they were in the restaurant. And I thought that was so interesting. It was like a random Wednesday night. We happened to be at the same restaurant. I approached her. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" She looked at me strange, which was really weird because if I bump into my friend in the restaurant, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" She was like, "Oh, hi, hi," like kind of like, "Get out of here." The guy didn't even speak to me, he was very rude. My dude like waved to her and he didn't know her, but he was being cordial or whatever the case is. And later on, she told me how like she'll try to make dates with a guy. They set up a date. The next thing you know, he won't pick her up. He disappears in the day they're supposed to go out. And then she'll look on his Snapchat or his Instagram. He's posting. He's out with another girl or hanging out with his friends. Like he was straight dissing her and disrespecting her. Basically, I wouldn't even be surprised if she had ended up paying for that dinner or whatever that they were out that night. Anyway, basically the guy did not like her. I don't know what he was getting from her. She claimed she wasn't having sex with him, but I don't know how true that was. But the guy was straight up using her. So once, I said, well, you know what, I'm having some commitment issues with my dude. She was like, see, that's why we bumped into each other at that restaurant that night. That was just God showing us, like, your dude is just like my dude. Like, they're no good. Like, we need to just cut these guys off. Like, your dude is no good and he's this and he. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And you see what happens? That's what happens when these women are in this struggle love. They're going to start to project onto you. Okay, yeah, me and my dude, we still stayed together for a couple of months and it was great. There was nothing wrong in my relationship with my dude, just the fact that he wanted to be poly. That was it. He wasn't mistreating me, there was no issues. And that's another thing. Just because somebody doesn't want the same kind of relationship that you want does not mean that you have to make them this villain or this evil person. Okay, just because you break up with somebody doesn't mean you have to hate your ex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where that came from. Like, oh, that's my ex, I have to hate them. No. You know, as I've gotten older, my breakups are easier. um and I don't end up like walking away hating the person. Okay, as you heal and you mature, now if that ex really did something to you, then that makes sense. But just because somebody doesn't want a commitment, a full commitment to you, or they don't want the same kind of relationship you want, you don't have to make them a villain. You just don't. Okay, like to this day I don't hate this dude. We talk once in a blue moon, whatever. He's probably still has feelings for me, whatever the case is. Why wouldn't he not? You know. But yes, it is not always that single friend that hates on the girl who's in a relationship. This is another girl I had to cut off in 2021. She was with her baby father for over 25 years. They living together. They have a 24, 25-year-old son. And they started to have issues, and she stepped out and started seeing somebody else because after 25 years he won't marry her, right? I never told her anything. I told her, I support you. If you stay with him, I support you. If you leave, I support you. Here I was trying to support her little struggle ass love, right? um then I noticed, because I'm an empath, so I really feel energy shift changes easily. So I started to feel like she was having some type of animosity towards me. And I'm like, what's up with her? I'll text her, like, hey girl, I'm at this park that you love so much. I'm having a good time. How you doing? How's your day? I'm good. Enjoy. Have a good day. Like, just dry texting me. And that wasn't her behavior, her natural behavior with me. I was like, I remember I said to a friend, I'm like, I think she's upset with me. She has some type of animosity towards me. I don't know what she feels I did. It came out her baby father lied to her and said that I told him that she was cheating, which was not true. So instead of her coming to me as a woman from the beginning, she believed the man that put a gun to her head, cheated on her, had a kid outside of the relationship on her, won't marry her after 25 years. You see, that's the problem. These women who are in these struggle love relationships, they always gonna believe they dusty. They always gonna believe and put their dusty before everything else, because they've placed their whole existence around this dusty man that they've been dealing with their whole life, right? And in her head, she's not gonna go, oh, this man has cheated on me with many people around the neighborhood. He has many mistresses. He even had a mistress that was stalking her. Um, he's had a child out on her. After their son was born, he's put a gun to her head. He's put his hands on her. He makes her pay half the bills. He's never financially been there for her. It was her 40th birthday and he made her pay half her trip, her own birthday trip, to go to Jamaica. You mean you couldn't pay a trip for your woman after 25 years? Struggle love. So you would think that she would put all this together and be like, you know what? Let me investigate and see what my friend is doing or saying. Has she really shown me any signs that she's this kind of person? I had a clean track record with this young lady. We never even got into argument. We had no issues. She believed him. Why would he say that? I think he was upset and wanted to just ruin any healthy relationship that she had, basically. And I think he secretly knew that I wasn't like her other friends. I was not. I didn't even go to her house. And that's one thing I don't do. I don't usually go to friends' houses who live with their baby father, their boyfriend. I don't do it because it's always some BS, okay? But anyway, yeah, this guy tried to make me look like I was a hating ass single friend. And she believed him. And, it came out that it wasn't true, whatever the case is. She kind of apologized to me about it. But we got into another discussion a couple of months later. And she was saying how, oh, she thought that if her struggle love married her, it would make everything better. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't, And I'm the friend that's going to tell you straight up truth. So she said, yeah, if he just marries me, we'll be legally a family, and we will be fine if he just marry him. Like, no, when you get married, that's a whole nother spiritual ball game. Marriage is completely different from dating, and he knows that. Men know this. Men know marriage and dating are two different things. Don't think men don't know this. They know this, okay? Two total different responsibilities. You're married. You can't just pick up and leave like that unless you flee in the country, okay? But when you're just a boyfriend, you're just a baby daddy, they know they don't have no ties to you legally or spiritually like that. Okay? So it is completely different when you saying that's my wife. Okay? That's my wife, that's my husband. It's not the same thing as baby daddy, baby mama. It's not the same thing. So I asked her, I said, what have y'all accomplished together in 5 years? Silence in the room. Okay. What have y'all accomplished together in 10 years? Silence in the room. What have y'all accomplished together in 20 years? Silence in the room. Okay, your son is 25. This chick really thought I was jealous of her because she had a little piece of struggle love. Y'all was living in a 1 bedroom apartment with your 25-year-old son sleeping on a bed in the living room. Y'all have no assets, no cars, no land, no bank accounts. Y'all own gold. Y'all don't own property. Y'all don't own anything. Y'all haven't accomplished anything financial. Is not He has not furthered his education. You haven't furthered your education. Um there hasn't even been any health goals, nothing. They have nothing to show for 25 years together. I thought relationships was supposed to make you a better person and supposed to grow you, and you should be building in a relationship. 25 years, if I can't even imagine being with somebody for 25 years and I have absolutely nothing to show. They don't have any, not even personal like goals or aspirations or something that they worked on. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And she got upset and she was like, my baby father's not a bum. He's not a bum. I said, I never said he was a bum. I said, but you have nothing to show for 25 years. So why would you want to marry somebody that you they haven't even made you a better person? Silence in the room. And a lot of you gotta understand, it is not always a single friend. Sometimes your single friend is the one that is happy by him or herself. I'm telling you. All right. I'm definitely not a miserable person when it comes to relationships, because I know how much hard work it takes to be in relationships and marriages. I've seen it with my own mother. My mother got married 4 times, so I've never been in a rush to get married, okay? Marriage is not something that you play with. Relationships is not something that you play with. I'm happy when I'm in a relationship, and I'm happy when I'm single and by myself, okay? Yes, it took me a long time to get to that position, but I'm definitely not a hating ass, miserable ass single friend. I don't care about your relationship. I don't envy there's nobody, there's no celebrity, there's no person I know in my life that I wish I had their relationship or their man. I had another friend before too. I think I told this story. And when she got with her man, I was like, wow, her man is fine. He got a good job. He got it going on. I was like, oh girl, I'm so happy for you, right? And one day, I noticed he never really talked much. And then one day, I used to babysit their daughter or whatever. And one day I ended up having a full fledged conversation with him. And to me, he was dumb as a bag of rocks. Okay. I was like shocked. I was just like, wow, see, this is why you never should you never should envy anybody's relationship. Like this guy, he really isn't intelligent at all. Not, very nice guy. Sorry if you ever come across this video. I ain't mean to call you dumb, but just hollow up in there, okay? And sometimes you'll see people's relationship and you're like, oh my gosh, they're married, they got kids, they look so happy, they this and that. A lot of times you could be single because you're not willing to settle, or you have there's a lot more requirement. For me, I like intelligent men. I need a man who can mentally stimulate me, okay? The physical will come, but you gotta mentally have something up going on up in there. You ain't gotta have a degree, because I don't have a degree, but you gotta be intelligent, quick, witty, smart, be able to catch on to things, see the world for what it really is, okay? And her man was just slow, very slow, childlike mindset, okay? I'm sure he's smart in whatever he does at work, but when it comes to other conversations, he could not keep up with me, and it blew me away. So never envy people relationships, because you don't know what they're dealing with. You may have a certain set of um, standards and needs where your friend ain't got nothing. I'll tell you this much: half of these chicks that is following struggle love, they don't really have self-worth. They don't have self-worth. They don't have standards. They might have good jobs or whatever the case is, but they don't have nothing going on in here or in here. Their soul is empty. That's why they chasing men to fill these voids, okay? So it's not a judgment, but honestly, if you really truly want to manifest love, you need to get away from people who's in struggle love. You are who the 5 people that you talk to the most. So imagine all your homegirls or all your homeboys, they're all in abusive relationships, they're all in struggle love. You really think that they're going to be happy for you when you finally find a man or woman that's going to love you, that treats you well? No, they're not. One of them going to try to sleep with your man or your woman. The other one gonna try to sabotage your relationship. One of them, I even had women even try to sleep with me. You gotta be very careful who you're around. Circle yourself around, even if you gotta be alone for a while, circle yourself around people who love themselves, okay? Circle yourself around people who love healthy relationships, all right? Or at least they're trying to work on their healing, all right? That's my message for you. Stay away this year from these struggle, ghetto, ratchet type of love. Talking about love and hip hop and Jada and Ari and all these people. Like, what? I don't even know these people, but these are like rappers, baby mamas, and they emulating them and worshiping them. I don't know what's going on in my black community. Why they want a struggle love? Why they want to have a relationship like these baby mamas with these rappers? And that, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm not from the suburbs, but I'm not really from the hood either. Maybe that's just the mentality in that environment and I cannot relate. But you don't have to be from like a poor area to be used to struggle love, but it happens in every economic, environment, every standard of person, every race. But I don't understand why that is just looked at as a love story, okay? And you're not, nothing good comes out of it, okay? Nothing good comes out of it. It is not true. Your single friend is not always trying to sabotage your relationship, and half the time y'all don't even be having no healthy relationship. Ain't nobody want your man. Why would I want your man when I do more for myself than your man do for you in 25 years? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. It's an illusion. They think, oh, at least she ain't got no man, but at least I got a little piece of man, and that means that I'm better than her, or I'm better than him. No, you're not. You're trash too. Your man is trash, and you're trash. Nobody want that struggle love. Nobody wants to go through all. You don't. There's people out there who their man and their woman never cheated on them. They never went through financial problems. The most problems they had was how to organize the kids or organize the household. You can have healthy love. You don't have to have struggle love. All right. I don't want that thug passion love. I don't want that struggle love. I don't want my man to put no gun to my head to prove he loved me or beat me. You know, and a lot of things you gotta unlearn the things you learned from your mother. If I was my mother right now, I'm 38, I would be in an abusive relationship right now. I had to unlearn all of that from my bloodline. So if I have a daughter, why would I pass down what her grandmother went through? That doesn't make any sense. We have to cut these cycles now. And if you feel like you're still attracted to that, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do. It's not real love. That's an illusion of love. That's not someone who loves you, not gonna want to hurt you and put you in a position to get hurt. All right, peace and blessings. That is my message for you today. Stay away from people who are in struggle love relationships. A lot of time, people who's in struggle love relationships, they can get you killed too. Watch some of them crime shows. I remember a story that stood out to me. Was they were half sisters. One girl, her mother was from more prestigious area. The black couple, black sisters, and went to a good school, private school, had going to college, doing well, having a great life. But her half sister, she's from the hood, right? And she wanted to spend time with her sister, but her sister had a struggle love relationship, an abusive relationship. So she said to her mom, "Oh, mommy, I'm gonna go hang out." I forgot the story's name, the people in the story, but it's a true story. And she went and she hung out with her half sister. She went to her apartment, and the boyfriend just got out of jail from beating up the half sister. He comes to the house with the kids in the house, shoots the sister who ain't got nothing to do with the struggle love situation, and his baby mama, kills both of them. So you see, you got to be very careful when you're around people who are in drama and struggle love. You can end up dead over situations like this, beat up, robbed, raped, all kind of things can happen to you. So please be careful about the company that you keep, okay? And if you're that person that's putting your friends and your family through drama because you're addicted to struggle love, it's time for you to do the work. All right, peace and blessings. I'm still taking love donations. This is how I make a living, okay? So if you feel I've helped you in any kind of way, I do take love donations. And my Cash App, my Zelle, my PayPal info will be in the comment section, okay? Peace and blessings, and enjoy the rest of your week.